everyone, welcome to Aftermath TV, and guess what? The crew is back. We're all here at the same time. How exciting.
Finally.
Very cool.
All four.
I know. Okay, and to my left, the lime to my lemon, Jimmy Corderas.
Yeah, we are Lyman today.
Oh, Lyman, very
Lyman.
nice.
Anthony Corelli, we missed you a lot. How have you been?
Awesome. I just finished an amazing adventure with my wife across Europe, but it was nice to be back.
Good. We're happy to have you. And Nug, we missed you as well.
Yeah, I was away last week. Listen to your radios. You might hear me shilling some products, but it's nice to be back.
Good. All right, you guys ready to talk WWE?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
let's do it.
Ready? Let's start it off with AJ and Shinsuke. We know that Shinsuke named his stipulation going into the next match with AJ. I don't know about how you guys feel. I'm a little tired of seeing these two go against each other, but will this stipulation add some intrigue? You know, are people going to want to watch this matchup more?
I think they're going to be more intrigued with not the matchup and the stipulation itself. I think they're going to be more intrigued with how the outcome is going to be, because these two have had good matches. Like, the body of their matches have been good. It's just the endings of the matches is what's left people sour. So I'm just curious, because especially in a last man standing match where if people don't know the rules, you have to incapacitate your opponent so that they're down and cannot answer the count of 10 and get back to their feet. So we've seen before where we've had a situation where both men were down and didn't make it back to their feet by the count of 10 in a previous match. This can technically happen here too, and that's what I'm afraid might happen.
Yeah, last man standing is very interesting. It's, you know, sometimes in professional wrestling you can have a sneaky submission victory or a roll up. This is who is going to survive the beating and be able to get up. So this is not a test of technical ability or timing. This is just like toughness. Who is the bigger, better man that's going to get up and be able to fight? So definitely a grueling match.
I don't know. I might be having fatigue from this little rivalry, mostly because 2 weeks ago they had a match to decide this, and Shinsuke beat AJ no problem. Clean win, no shenanigans. So now we're going to get to see that happen again. He should already be the champion because he's beaten him. So I don't know why this excites anybody. They've already had a match where nobody got up for the 10 count. Just take out a guy's legs, break a leg, the guy won't be able to get a 10 count. Like, it's ridiculous that this is going on so long. I have a hamster on the wheel for predictions when it comes.
Yeah, we both do.
And we both do, so I'm excited to have that.
No,
we're saving them for predictions.
Save it for the week before.
Absolutely, because we've got 3 weeks of this until Money in the Bank. It seems like forever.
But we're on the same wavelength completely, Nug. I totally agree. But Anthony, you mentioned that this matchup will be less about technical ability and more about athleticism. Which of the two superstars do you think is more athletic to compete in a match like this?
Yeah, no, this is about toughness. This is really about will. Heart, will, who's going to get up and have the drive. I don't know. They're both really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, to have careers like they've had, you have to be super tough. And you can be flashy and stylish and have a really nice looking offense, but at the core of it, you have to be one tough SOB, and both these guys are tougher than a $2 steak.
I think a lot of it has to do with Shinsuke Nakamura has that reputation. People know that from his previous experience in Japan. People aren't aware. They see the flash and the style of AJ Styles, so to speak.
He can go,
but he's a tough little bugger. If you he'll tell you bring it. He likes it rough.
All right, it'll be hopefully an exciting matchup.
Yeah, hopefully, yes.
Talking about exciting, tonight on SmackDown Live, we'll see Daniel Bryan take on Samoa Joe, which I feel like everyone's very excited about.
Dream
what
match.
do you got? Right?
Dream
okay.
match.
All right, now you take the floor.
It's a dream match. It's something we thought we'd never see because Daniel Bryan was retired when Samoa Joe made it to the main roster, and it was one of those matches where you'd go, oh man, if only. Well, here it is. Tonight on SmackDown, we get to see this dream match. This should be on a pay-per-view event. This should be on a big network event, and it's for free on our television. This is amazing to me. I can't wait, and it's going to be an awesome match because Daniel Bryan's very technical, and while Samoa Joe can be technical, Samoa Joe is a monstrous beatdown machine. It's going to be very interesting tonight.
Yeah, I think both these guys really have a lot of respect for each other.
100%.
And if they're not wrestling each other, I think they would watch and enjoy their body of work. So they're going to really elevate each other. This is, we have both have that kind of MMA style and submissions. And are we supposed to predict? No.
No, if you want to, go ahead. But I'm saving mine for predictions.
Throw one out there, Anthony.
Oh, it's tonight.
Man, well, my brain says Joe, but my heart says Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, you got your head pick and your heart pick.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And this is going to be Daniel Bryan's toughest test since being cleared to come back, because Samoa Joe, you talk about hard hitting. Samoa Joe hits hard, and we've seen a lot of submission moves from Daniel Bryan. He did the heel hook last week that we saw. Samoa Joe, one of his nicknames, the Samoan Submission Machine. So this is going to be an interesting battle back and forth. I kind of agree. I kind of see Samoa Joe coming out ahead here, because I don't think Daniel Bryan can match the mental toughness. Yes, the physical toughness. Nobody's tougher than Joe right now.
For me, this match is interesting because you're going into Money in the Bank, and Money in the Bank gets you that contract for a title shot. Daniel Bryan's had the title shot. Daniel Bryan's had the title. Daniel Bryan's won Money in the Bank. Samoa Joe might be a little hungrier because he's never been there.
And going off of that, what do these guys each bring to a ladder match if they were to go into it at Money in the Bank?
Oh, boy. Samoa Joe, like, here's a guy who doesn't need inanimate objects like ladders and stuff like that to inflict physical punishment.
He is the ladder.
Exactly. But imagine, put a ladder in this guy's hands, and it's like a double whammy for everybody in the match. It's going to be interesting. Daniel Bryan, again, it's more flash than actual physicality with him. I just worry about Daniel Bryan's situation in a match like that.
100% correct. I worry so much about Daniel Bryan in a ladder match, let alone a ladder match with 7 other people.
Yeah, you fall, I mean, exponentially. You fall from 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet. It's just harder and harder the more you speed up. But in this particular match, I think Daniel Bryan would have an advantage going up the ladder quickly. And this doesn't have to be, you don't have to pin guys. You have to get the thing hanging that's suspended. So he's pretty good at climbing. That's a good thing to have in these matches.
Well, it'll be an exciting match to watch tonight. Only, hours away, so it's exciting. But moving on, guys. On the last Aftermath TV episode, we said that the New Day, you can't drive a wedge in between the New Day. That's exactly what The Miz did not too long ago. So what do we think about The Miz doing that?
It's interesting because The Miz actually spoke some truths that kind of resonated with the New Day. I mean, every time you say that you can't drive a wedge between guys, there's always some kind of wedge.
Got him thinking, eh?
Yeah, it did get him thinking, so it's going to be interesting.
He did the really great thing, it's a very old school kind of thing, of complimenting the New Day so much. Like, together they're awesome. Individually, they all do awesome things. But Miz is just that much better. If you're going to beat somebody, you want to beat somebody that's fantastic. And here, the Miz beat Big E last week. But I love this mystery of which New Day member. I love the New Day. I love that one of them is in the match and we don't know who, because it gets the wheels turning. Will it be Kofi? Because him in a ladder match is gold. Will it be Big E? There's a big upside with him. He's a former NXT champion. Will it be Xavier? He could outsmart everybody. But should one of them win it, are they going to freebird rule it? And if one of them cashes in, do the other two get angry? And is that where the wedge comes in?
So do we see a feud?
But maybe. There could be. This could be the thing. Should one of them win it, this could be the thing that breaks up the New Day.
We asked it on last week's episode, but who do you guys think would go in from the New Day into the ladder match?
Again, Kofi. Kofi's shown examples of being able to climb and reach high things really fast, He could jump to the top rope, for God's sake. So, I mean, I think he's the guy that, when it comes to vertical.
Xavier and Big E want it to be Kofi. They talked about it when the Greatest Royal Rumble happened. Kofi Kingston has had such a great career, and this is the one thing, not Money in the Bank, but the championship is the one thing he hasn't had. It's time, it's Kofi.
I like the fact that finally some guys are recognizing the veterans and trying to show some respect, in other words, to those who came before them, because a lot of times you don't see that nowadays. It's kind of like me, all about me. It's nice to see them, offer themselves up and say, hey, we'd rather Kofi have this opportunity.
They want to beat, a lot of guys want to beat the veterans to kind of take that spot, but to show some respect is very nice.
And quickly, guys, sorry, Jimmy, but just talking about the women, the field has been finalized, so what do you guys think about the final 8?
It's interesting. I think it's a complete toss-up as to who can come out on this one. I'm just surprised by a lot of them, and I'm worried about some of the participants. Let's just put it that way.
In what way? In what way?
Safety.
Okay.
Yes.
This is a very dangerous match, but the risks, I mean, the prize is so valuable. You're guaranteed to be involved in angles and storylines and championship opportunities. This is becoming one of the bigger pay-per-views of the year, and we're also building it really well. We're 3 weeks out, and there's already excitement. So this is going to be a fantastic pay-per-view. Again, a lot of the girls maybe don't have experience in this type of match, so they're going to gain it now.
I'm looking for whoever wins it to cash in that night. I think the ladies case will be cashed in the night of Money in the Bank. My hamster's on the wheel for that. So.
Okay, quickly, who do you want to win? Becky Lynch.
I'm looking for Natalya.
Do I have to pick one?
I think Natalya's going to win. I want Becky Lynch to win.
Okay. All right, guys. When we get back from the break, more talk about everything WWE. Come on, Anthony. Daniel Bryan said recently that he believes AJ Styles is the most talented wrestler or superstar on the roster. Agree, disagree, go.
Absolutely agree. There's nobody better right now in the world, in my opinion. And you can, with all due respect to all the talent around the world and all the opinions that some of the diehard fans might have about certain superstars, Daniel Bryan was right when he said that AJ Styles is the best in the world because he's done it everywhere. And now he's proven it on the grandest stage of them all. Those others that they're talking about, and I think you know who I'm referring to, once they do it in the WWE and they make it to the top there, then they can dethrone AJ Styles as the best in the world. Until then, he's the best in the world.
It's pretty hard to argue that, he's really good. But the thing I like is that he's good in so many different ways. Yeah. He's a high flyer. I mean, just his athleticism and coordination is world class. He's also a grappler, and he's a fighter, and he's tough, and he can put up with the schedule, and he can represent the brand. And he has so many different things happening that he is the best in the world right now.
There is no thing in the world better in wrestling than experience. And AJ Styles has the benefit of his years of being all over the world wrestling everybody. To have that kind of experience and then come to the WWE, he's cool, he's calm, he's collected, he's very good, he's athletic, and he knows what he's doing.
And he's been the top guy everywhere he's been.
What qualities would make a perfect superstar? We were talking about this the other day, Jimmy, that you could have someone who's extremely talented in the ring, and then you could have someone who's very entertaining, but they're still equally as talented in their roles. But I feel like AJ Styles embodies both of those.
He does, but for me, the perfect superstar, like JBL has said this 100 times, and I completely agree. If you were to build a WWE superstar from the ground up, Randy Orton is your blueprint because his in-ring ability, and Anthony could attest to this, is so smooth. It almost looks like this guy doesn't even try to be that good, and he is that good. And he's also entertaining, and he understands the total package of being a WWE superstar. So to me, that's your blueprint.
Yeah, there was a long time when I considered Randy Orton the best in the world, and he's slowing down a little bit in terms of preserving himself. He knows this is a business. You have to be durable. That's a huge quality, as well as know how to wrestle. Yeah, you can be the best wrestler in the world. If you can wrestle once every 6 months, you're not going to really make a lot of money.
Randy Orton is a blueprint for a wrestler, but a blueprint is used to build upon. And so Randy Orton, while being very good and being entertaining, I think lately he's been a little bit of a snooze on the microphone because he hasn't had much of a chance to talk. But I think if you put some personality on a blueprint like Randy Orton, if you're going to create a wrestler like you do in the video game, you start with Randy Orton, but then you add stuff to it, some costumes, some some personality, some this and that, and then you get the thing you're looking for. And there's kind of a guy in NXT right now that I'm a big fan of that I think has the potential to be that next guy.
We mentioned that AJ Styles has been everywhere. Why did he succeed when other superstars who are outside of WWE didn't? What sets him apart?
Well, there's the it factor everyone talks about, and the ability to connect. It's if I was a kid and I was in school and some guy said, "Hey, how do I get this girl to like me?" I mean, if I had the answer, I'd be a kabillionaire. Because how do you explain you have to be interesting? Well, how do you become interesting? And then there's a million things. Well, you can do this or this, and there's exceptions to every rule. Whatever it is, when you see him, he's a big leaguer, you're drawn in, your eyes are on him, and that's the intangible thing that they call the it factor, and he has that.
He does, and he's been at the top everywhere he's gone and has the experience of being at the top. Sometimes when you get there, you freak out because you've never been there before. AJ's been there, and he's done it a lot.
But not only has he been at the top of everywhere he's been, he's always constantly learning. He's one of these people who's not set and saying, I know everything, I've got it, it's cool, I'm the best in the world. He's always constantly trying to improve himself and learn and evolve as his business does.
Completely agree with you guys. Daniel Bryan also said that he has a couple of dream matches against Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns. Do you guys consider those dream matches or the potential of those matches? How amazing would they be?
Daniel Bryan against any one of those guys would be a dream match. It doesn't matter which match it is. They're all going to be different, and they're all going to be amazing.
It's funny because there's particular fighting styles. So if, let's say, it's Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar, that's a David and Goliath type match with, with submissions. And I could see an outcome like when he fought Frank Mir. He can pummel him and catch a little ankle lock. And so there's always an immediate story in all of these matchups. Roman Reigns, too, big, strong guy. Daniel Bryan's smaller. He's smaller than me. And that's why he fights for the little guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we did see Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns a while back before the
Retirement?
Before the semi-retirement of Daniel Bryan, and they had an excellent match. So we know what the potential is there. I like the intriguing factor of that David and Goliath story, especially both with their striking background and MMA style, and no weight classes basically in the WWE, so where you can have someone like Daniel Bryan face a giant like Brock Lesnar.
Well, good news for us is that we get to see one of those dream matches here on SmackDown tonight, right?
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe. So I guess we'll talk about that
cool.
next week on Aftermath TV. Right now, it's time for break, but when we're back, we have another 3 count coming your way.
Ooh, break.
The universe loves him, and he recently celebrated his birthday. Here's our 3 count with Seth Rollins. 3 count welcomes Seth Rollins. And Seth, it seems as though you gave Jackie Redmond a bit of a tough time, so I'm hoping you take it a little easier on me right now.
I mean, if you'd be nice to me, Jackie was mean. Jackie was mean to me all the time. She got what she deserved, right? We gave her the boot. We got her out of here. We're on to bigger and better things, Jackie. You understand what I'm saying? Right here, Caroline #1.
We love you, Jackie.
No, we don't. She might. I do not.
Okay, starting out with our questions. What is your favorite program on the WWE Network?
Oh man, my favorite program, like recurring program or like network special.
Network special.
Probably my own.
Yeah, why not, right? Plug that.
Yeah, probably my own.
Smart guy.
No, the company did a really cool deal on me in a 24 special where they followed me during my my injury and all that stuff leading up to WrestleMania a couple of years ago where I missed the WrestleMania. But I thought it was a really good profile, and they did a good job of kind of highlighting me as like a regular person instead of just being a goofball.
Way to plug yourself there. I respect it.
I mean, that's what we're here for, right?
You're exactly right. Okay, if you could go on a road trip with one superstar, who would it be and why?
I mean, I road trip with Cesaro every week.
How's that?
He's an interesting cat. I think people would be surprised. He's got his weird little nuances, you know, like things about him that he just hates and things that he like has to do. Like he has to eat cereal every day.
What kind?
He eats healthy cereal. It's not real cereal. It's
No Lucky Charms?
No, it's Kashi cereal, but he puts protein packs in it, and then he puts water in it, and it's like this disgusting. And he has to have it every day, or he like freaks out. So I mean, he's my road wife, as you would say. I can't trade him out.
Would you try that kind of cereal?
No, it looks terrible. It looks like baby poop mush. It looks terrible.
And he survives without Sheamus?
He gets by. I think him and Sheamus need a break. They're like, you know, Ozzy and Harriet on the so like they need a little bit of break like from each other. They're like a married couple, so it's good for them.
Okay, and I need some advice for our last final question. The Miz has been giving me some difficulty when I've been trying to talk to him.
Shocker.
How do I approach him and, you know, just get the best out of him that I can?
I mean, I would approach him with a closed fist and or a middle finger.
I can't do that, right? My job would be on the line.
Well, I mean, the Miz is a sucker for a pretty girl, so maybe if you just go in and try that angle and stroke his ego a little bit. I think that's what he needs. If you really want answers, you just got to tell him how great he is, and then you'll get what you want out of him.
All right, thanks, Seth. I
Yeah,
appreciate
it's a shame that it's got to be that way, but that's Mike for you.
Well, clearly, just as entertaining as Seth Rollins is out of the ring, he is just as funny and entertaining outside. Guys, he had an injury, as we saw. That footage looked crazy. And he's back apparently better than ever. How do you feel about Seth Rollins?
He is upped his game. I mean, everybody knew out of the 3 members of the Shield, he was the one that people may have pegged. I know Nug and I were talking about this, that he might be the one to be the singles breakout star of the Shield. I think he's the guy in the right place for the Intercontinental Championship right now because he's elevating that title. With all due respect to The Miz,
Yes.
whatever, Seth Rollins is doing a great job at elevating that Intercontinental Championship because it is the featured championship on Raw right now with Brock Lesnar not being around too much.
Yeah, he's a talented kid, and he's going to be here for a long time. I enjoy watching him. The only thing I don't like, he takes a lot of risks. Like he does dives when he doesn't need to. And God forbid someone moves and sidesteps him, he can get hurt pretty bad and crash and burn. That's the only thing he does that I wouldn't, if I was his coach, I would, try and get him to not do that. But yeah, he's the man right now. He's been the man for a while too.
I think ever since the gauntlet match before WrestleMania, right, that gauntlet match might have been the fire that lit this rocket, because he's gone nowhere but up since then. Rollins is on fire right now, and the crowd's behind him, and they're really into every match. And all the matches he's had as the Intercontinental Champion have been awesome, no matter who they've been with.
Is Rollins close to the perfect superstar that we just talked about?
Close. I think. This is my opinion. I think he needs just to work a little bit on his microphone stuff because, obviously you see the guys who flourish on the mic, guys. You can't compare it to Cena and those likes. Just needs a little bit of work. Maybe just.
He's a little too casual for me. Like he's like, everything's cool. No,
well,
I need you to be a little more intense.
The interview right now, he showed so much more personality than he does normally on the mic. When I guess he's trying to be a tough guy instead of just being yourself. But when you're going to call somebody out, it's kind of hard to not. Look like you're trying to be a tough guy kind of thing. But anyway, that Seth right there, I'll take that all day over what he does on the mic currently right now.
Oh, interesting. All right, okay, guys, Ask Aftermath. I love this first question. Thank you guys so much for sending them in. How do you celebrate Rusev Day?
Oh, well, first of all, Rusev Day is every day. I put up my traditional Rusev Day tree. We sing the Rusev Day songs. We have the traditional Rusev Day meal. And then we go to bed singing songs of Rusev. That's how we do it at my house.
We do lamb on a spit
Very
in the
nice.
backyard.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, you guys go all out.
Yeah, I don't celebrate this thing, Rusev Day.
Me neither. I just hang out with my dog all day. That's that's like the most consistent thing that I do every day. And go to work.
It's great.
Well, happy Rusev Day to you guys.
Thank you very much.
It just happens to be Rusev Day.
Yeah,
today is?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah.
So soon?
I got a calendar that says it's every day.
And our next question is what would be the one change you'd like to see with SmackDown going to Fox?
Ooh. Oh my goodness.
Great question.
Other than being on Friday night and maybe,
For me, I don't want to see it go to 3 hours. I actually want to see it stay the same.
No,
I can tell you what I don't want to see changes is the time. I think it should still be 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. I would like to see rankings, top 10.
Yes, I like that.
They tried that once. It just didn't work out.
For nothing.
Yeah.
Well, now with the different, I guess because the Intercontinental and Heavyweight Championship are both heavyweight divisions. So there's not really weight categories. But with 205, they could do that.
Well, I'm with Nug with the 2 hour slot,
Keep
but
it there.
guys, let's just, I'm sorry, we gotta go, but Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe are up next, and that's where we're headed. See everyone next week on Aftermath TV.
Don't go nowhere.
SmackDown Live.